Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another L-Acoustics webinar. My name is Scott Sugden, Product and Technology Outreach Manager here. And today, two special guests from the Education and Scientific Outreach team, Director Etienne Corteel and François Montignies, Head of Education and Training. Thank you for joining us, both of you. We have a totally different topic today than normal, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Hello, Scott. Nice to be with you today again, and happy to be able to talk about that topic in such a wide audience.
Yeah, so today we're going to cover actually the entire new education platform that L-Acoustics has been working on for a while, and even previewed early on in pandemic 2020 time, and it's complete now, isn't it? It's on the website. It's ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. So we are going to give you, the website itself has been revamped entirely, and I guess that's something that people should have noticed lately. And also we've added this new education section that we want to walk through today. And also all the new things that we've been working on over that last year, and that was not only, let's say, adapting to the new circumstances, but also developing our educational offer, because that was really the driving factor. So I think I will maybe start a bit by introducing that new section of the website and a bit our new ambition, I would say, on the education side. And then François will follow up on some more dedicated topics around our education platform and on some new courses that we've been developing.
This is great. So François, over the last year and a half, you've developed a number of new courses and updated almost every single training and education seminar we've got. Is that right?
Yeah, in a way. So hi, everyone. Actually, this pandemic era was a good opportunity for us to launch a project that we had for a long time, actually. So this blended approach Etienne is going to talk about. Actually, it's been introduced last year, but we've been working hard during this year for this official launch. So revamping the content to be adapted to this new modalities that we're going to tell you more about.
Excellent. This is really exciting. So for those of you who are joining us today live, feel free to type in questions. We'll do our best to answer them in the chat. If you have any questions afterwards, I'm sure we have contact information that is available. I believe, if I recall, it's training@lacoustics.com. Is that the email address, François?
Yeah, that's the general address if you have any question or any request about a specific course. If you cannot find a session close by or anything, just ask and we'll arrange something.
Great, thank you. Etienne, why don't I send it to you? You've got to start out and you're going to kind of show us the overall concept of this blended. Is that what's going to go on here?
Yeah, actually, before we get there, that's, let's say, what we call now our site, and to show you a little bit like the way we're presenting the education offer now. And it starts by our vision, and our vision for education is this blended learning approach, because that's what we have found to be probably the most effective in the way to transmit knowledge. And what's really important to know and to talk about is that we are still very much encouraging and pushing the need, and we know that there is a big need for the presence of an instructor when we want to deliver a course. It's very hard for people to be, let's say, only online. And therefore, we have tried, and we haven't tried actually. It's whatever course we give, there's always an instructor who is in charge of delivering the message and helping out the learners. And the blended approach is to have a combination of these instructor-led sessions, which can be either in a classroom or in a virtual classroom, meaning online, when we have to adapt to present traveling restrictions, but also that's an opportunity for people who are really living far away from an education center to attend a number of sessions, together with some digital learning activities which can be hosted in such a platform. And these activities can be directly linked to the sessions that we're organizing. So in the case of digital, let's say, online seminars that can be in between two virtual classrooms where the learners would have to perform some digital activities, prepare some content, upload it to a trainer, also interact with the trainer, but all of that will be presented by François at a later stage during this webinar. Or even after they've received their certification, that's something that this platform allows, is to access to all the training material, to all the course material that we've provided to you in an always up-to-date manner. And I think that's something, yeah.
This is great. So like, I know when I would do training seminars, the question always was, can I get a copy of the presentation? Or, hey, I took the training a couple months ago. I forgot, I lost my booklet. So this means now that people have access to that training material. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. So instead of having a booklet that often you will come home and probably leave on a shelf and never remember where it is. Actually, through the platform, you'll get access to always up-to-date material and the entire material. And that's something also that we wanted to communicate today, is that we took the decision to open quite widely the access to that course material to help people, let's say, get up to speed, let's say, by having the ability to access that material for all their past certification. So due to some, let's say, access limitation, we decided to open up primarily for people who would have attended courses with us in years 2019 and 2020. And that's going to be available free of charge until the end of the year. And for these people who have attended maybe just one class during those 2 years, they will find the entire training history.
Oh, so does that mean, yeah, so maybe if I'll say this, if I took a training seminar in 2017 and 2020, early 2020, I'll have access to the seminar that I took in 2020 and the one I took in 2017?
Yeah, exactly. And I think one good example is for example, CARA, because if you have attended the CARA seminar in 2017, for example, we have released CARA 2, which is a nice enhancement of CARA, and you'll have access to a latest status, which is actually the training seminar for CARA 2 that has been upgraded to the latest status at the release of the CARA 2 product. So
that makes a lot of
example.
Sense. Yeah, because in 2020, January 2020, we announced CARA 2, and so now I have the training seminar that talks about PanFlex and probably shows me the applications and how that works, the preset choices, how to use CARA 2 with PanFlex in different subwoofer ratio and so on and so forth. And all of that is available to me since I took CARA training in 2017. And of course, in 2019 or 2020, I took maybe a different seminar. So I'm going to have access to all of that through the end of 2021.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's our way also to create that access to a platform, help people to really learn and get up to speed once again. I think what is also important to say is that for everybody is taking training these days, they already have access to a platform. And this platform gives you typically, when you attend a course, by attending a course, you will get 1 year of access to the platform from the date of the certification, so when you attended that course, and that covers, again, your entire training history. So by attending courses, you will be able always to renew that access to a platform and the access to your entire training history with us.
So this reminds me of a bit of my frequent flyer program. So as long as I fly every once in a while, I keep access to all of my miles.
Exactly.
And I can use those. And because we're in pandemic times, just like my frequent flyer program, we're grandfathering in a certain amount of access for anyone who took a training back to or an educational seminar back to 2019. So all you have to do is just be a regular member of the educational community, and you maintain that access for the next year, your gold status or your platinum status. Have we figured those levels out yet?
Yeah, not yet. But,
no, okay, got it. François, do we get any business class upgrades? Has that happened yet?
Yes, probably. We are preparing some stuff for
free cocktail when we got it. Okay, good.
For frequent flyers like you, But
excellent.
Just something to add about this. So we talked a lot about this approach about access to the material, which is one part of the platform as a learning center. But it's also important to understand that this platform is also our tool to deliver each one of our courses. So whether they are on-site session or online session, we are using this platform as an educational tool. And this is really important in our vision to blended learning. Etienne already introduced that. So we are based on instructor-led training because we don't really believe in something which is already the past, which is a traditional e-learning where you are alone in front of your screen and you are scrolling through content. And this kind of courses, people, they never finish it. They never. So we want to maintain engagement. Before, during, and after our session. So the instructor is still really important for us. It has always been at L-Acoustics. We are using experts in their field. It used to be you, Scott. We have many.
My expert status has dropped a bit. I'm back down to gold.
Yeah.
So it's
now you are
no longer platinum. So
yeah. So now we have to find new experts, but we have some very good ones in our consultant
we have good
pool.
Candidates.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, it was not that difficult to read.
Yeah, and the internal team as well. I think we have to say from from the instructors, we have about 80 certified instructors worldwide.
Around the world, yeah.
And that's really a great pool of educators. And we take also quite some time, and effort to maintain the contact with the educators, with the trainers, and being able to answer the questions, update them on new content, brief them also on the best ways and the best practices how to deliver those trainings. And I think that's quite important.
Well, this is. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Please go on.
I was just going to say this is something that really has been paramount importance for us at L-Acoustics for a long time. Is this idea of communicating the knowledge and the information of how to deploy our systems, but also just audio knowledge in general, right? And over the years, we've grown the portfolio of educational seminars, of courses and trainings. It's starting to become almost American menu sized, I think, if I recall. Back in the day, it was kind of like a French menu, and now it's quite robust.
Yeah, so I think that's actually the right time to start to talk about them, and I think the platform is something François will also explain a bit more directly into a tool. So let's get him a bit of things to talk about. But what we wanted to show, and what we have developed is also a comprehensive set of courses. So nowadays, I would say proudly say that we have 15 courses available that are 1 day equivalent course. So you could spend pretty much 3 weeks with us entirely if you would want to go through the entire program. And we have also, in order to make it a bit more, let's say, understandable for people, arranged them in what we call learning paths. And a learning path corresponds to a typical, let's say, role in the industry, where you would have a number of courses that would help at developing your skills performing that role, pretty much. So we have also divided them into 2 categories. One which is product training, because those courses really are based on products that we develop at L-Acoustics. And some that we call skills development, because you may not need to have knowledge about our products to come to them. Still, you will learn quite a bit through them. So they are more like what we call advanced learner courses, as we see on that graph. So, let's say that we would start with the more well-known path, which is the case system technician. Is something you can see a bit more detail in this course, and where you will see the system and workflow training, and that's one that François will introduce. It's our new prerequisite training that really provides a really broad overview of what L-Acoustics products and workflow is all about. And then you see all the case systems for which we have 1 day course. I think this is really well known from our users these days. However, we have developed that, I would say, even further by introducing a new category as well of an installation system technician, because we have that range of product that has grown into the fixed installation sector. Some products are fully dedicated to that sector. Yet in fixed installation, we might find like the full range of our products, and we have created a course that's dedicated to their implementation, and François will talk about it again in more details because that's brand new. We have another learning path of a system engineer, so that goes a bit deeper into typically our sound vision software that we are redeveloping as a full day course that's currently under development but will roll out only in a few months from now. And the drive system course, which goes into the category of our electronics product, audio and control distribution, and LA Network Manager, typically. So that's really to get a more in-depth knowledge about all of these courses. And these courses are derived from our also well-known System Fundamental Day, which we thought like was starting to be just too big and deserved to be split into 2 days. What you'll see as well is a learning path about ELISA, and for ELISA we've rearranged a bit the course material into 3 days. We had this 3-day seminar, and we have developed it into 3 different courses for the mixing engineer and 3 different courses for the system engineer, with some common path that's quite important. And it's important to say that those courses have been overworked also quite a bit to account for all the new things that have been included over the last year in ELISA. And I think that's being covered in our webinars at the moment. So we have this one for system engineer, this one for mixing engineer, and we have this advanced learner path, which previously we called our level 2, but we thought it's not the right approach. Like, we want more to present it for a slightly different audience, or for people who want to, let's say, improve globally their skills. They might not be fully familiar with L-Acoustics, but they are interested in loudspeaker system calibration and our approach to it. Or they may be interested to learn more about the behavior and optimization of variable line source, curvature line source, and they would want to attend one of these courses. Okay.
And those trainings are we've always tried and intended and plotted those courses as what's the word we say, agnostic. I think that's we use our product to talk about the concepts, but it's not specifically only true for L-Acoustics, right?
Exactly. So even like I think it's fair to say, and Scott, you participated to those as well, that we've been using subset of that content also in scientific conferences where we did tutorials and workshops based on that material. Because that's really general purpose information illustrated through our products. And I think we can really put it this way. And that guides you through, let's say, general knowledge on these topics. That's, I guess, very useful for people.
Yeah, and I think the one that highlights that the most to me, I know François and Etienne, you guys both worked on this really hard, is that loudspeaker system calibration. There's a whole part about where you should put microphones, right? And I don't know how that could be any more agnostic, because it turns out when you measure a sound system, putting the data or collecting data from the right place is one of the most important parts. So it's a really great seminar. If you haven't had a chance to take it yet, and you haven't by chance watched any of the webinars or been to the AES conferences where we cover some of these topics, totally recommend everyone sign up for that one. It's a great bit of information, especially as we're all trying to get back to work in 2021, to just refresh that brain of, hey, how do I calibrate my sound system, or how do I optimize that line source? Totally recommend that. So please, everyone, feel free to jump in on that. So how do they sign up and buy, Etienne?
Yeah, so that was the next topic we wanted to talk about. So you'll see at several places that you have the ability to book a session. And that's also something a bit new that was launched lately, is our e-store. So our e-store was showing several categories, but has been enhanced, let's say, with 2 new categories. For the software and also the training. So the training can be booked now through our e-store, and you'll see all available sessions. So at the moment, like, we've only listed those until end of June, but we're in the process of expanding, and I guess you should have a look at the e-store to see all sessions, like for July, August, and September. And there you have the ability to filter either by course, where you can see typically which, if you have an interest in a given course, you can have a subset of the sessions of that very course. Or you can check also by location, whether it would be in our Marcoussis office. We'll have some Westlake sessions also restarting in July, and some online availabilities. And then it's fairly easy and straightforward to register through that process. And once you're registered, we will register you as well to our education platform. And that's how you'll start to enter, let's say, that platform and be part of the education, L-Acoustics education community.
Great. This is really neat. So we've got a bunch of new courses. We've reorganized all the courses. All of them, every one of them can be done virtually, or is there, or I shouldn't say virtually, in the hybrid approach, the mixed approach, or are some restricted to on-site only?
Yeah, so at the moment we have options for online courses. So we are developing step by step more and more online courses, because we see the value of that modality. So we've had for a year now. So we started in June 2020 the System Fundamentals Online, which is rolling out, and we'll have the new System and Workflow to be available online, as well as the Fixed Installation System course. Both courses will be introduced by François in a minute now, and we are also working on more courses to be available online, but that will be announced a bit later.
Excellent. That's really exciting. So how does the platform work, François? Can you kind of give us like some overview of how a user jumps into this and starts joining the process?
So yes, I'm going to use a virtual trainee. So let me. So once you you buy a course on our e-store, or maybe you are part of a team, so you have a private seminar from L-Acoustics, whatever the entry point, you get an invitation to the platform and you can create your account. And I'm going to share you. So that would be the home page for this guy, so Damon. So as you can see, the first thing he can see is which session he's been assigned to, some new learning items that are in the learning center, depending on the groups he belongs to, and some bit of content that has been started but not finished yet. So, for example, this guy, let me check. So, actually, he was following the first fixed installation system session in France, in Marcoussis. So now the instructor-led session is over. But as you can see, there are some exercises to finish probably because it's not totally completed. So actually, we let the trainee 2 months after the instructor-led session to finish the online exercises before he get the certification.
Got it. So if I take a training in an event pops up afterwards, and I have to come back to it in a week or two, that's okay. I can finish those exercises 2 weeks later, and they can still receive their certificate of completion at that point. So for
exactly.
up to 2 months, you said?
Yeah. So for this one, this course it's 2 months, and this is what we want to maintain as a deadline. So
Yep.
actually, that's what I was telling you also about the blended, is that we are using digital activities both for on-site and online session. And for us, this is something new. But so fixed installation system is a perfect example for that. We have about 2 hours of lectures and 2 hours of exercises, 2 hours of lectures, 2 hours of exercises, and we are using the platform for all the learning quizzes, etc., etc. I will give you an overview after that. So that's the first course which is using this new learning modalities, but we're going to implement this for most of our courses now. So I will show you that. Now, also what you can see for this profile before we dig into the content, just quickly, you can see all the groups this trainee belongs to. And all these groups actually they correspond to the training history of this guy. So even registered to one new course, which is fixed installation system, and once he created his account, automatically he got all this access, all these groups with all the previous training courses he followed in the past years. So as you can see, so he probably followed system fundamentals with the Sun Vision and Drive system, Cara 2 system, and he was also one of our guinea pig for the new system and workflow course. So this guy maybe followed Sun Vision, I don't know, 2 years ago. Now he can check in his learning center and quickly have access to all the up-to-date material here. So tutorials, meaning also all the exercises that has been updated with the new functionalities. We all know that software got new functionalities every 2 months or so. So this is a way for us to maintain skills up to date for our trainees, and also to maintain engagement, so they can come back here, go through the content. Then they can also post some question on the forum on the side if they want to. So that's really a powerful tool for us to keep the contact with our trainees, and for them to always be up to date with the new content. Yeah, so for all of this module, you have the access to the material. Now, maybe I can show you a bit of our new module, System and Workflow.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So System and Workflow, so this guy already followed the course, so he can access directly to the content, whether it's a lecture or an exercise. I'm going to just to give you an overview through the introduction. So this is the space where a learner can post any comment or any question. So on each bit of content in the platform, they can post here in this space, and other trainee can interact, or education team can answer.
Oh, so that's interesting. So there's a bit of a community aspect as well within the education platform. So if I'm a learner in maybe I'm relatively new to L-Acoustics, I have a question, and both a trainer or other learners can comment like, I have the same question, and I suppose that helps both the learner, and it also helps us create better education seminars, doesn't that?
Yeah, so it makes it easier for us to spot if there is a typo or something, for sure. If the learning activity is not well understood, so we may have to adapt it to improve it. So for sure, that's a great tool for us for continuous improvement of our material. But you can see, maybe I can jump back to there is a common wall for all the community as well, and you can see, for example, this guy, he was just posting a general post in the forum about one specific project he is working on, and we have our good friend Vic Wagner answering to him, and this answer is benefiting to all the community,
Sure.
etc. So you can post for the whole community, or you can post directly in the Key1 system group if you want to focus on all the Key1 expert, or you can post specifically on the variable line source, variable curvature line source group, if you want a specific answer about this kind of.
That's great. This is really great. Yeah, this is really helpful. I can see where, growing knowledge as a community is always helpful. It's nice to be in a place where, you can get good answers. So this is really powerful.
And we definitely encourage people to post comment, and also to react to comment of others, so that the community can build, and this is a place where people really can exchange on that. And that's also a communication mean for us to provide information, additional information, or also indicate to people that some new material has been put. There's been some updates, so they can get feedback about okay, there's something new in that course material, so you might want to take a look.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just we'll see other functionality when we'll go through the content of a fixed installation system. But first, I wanted to give you an quick overview of system and workflow. just to make you understand that this new course is really important for us because it's going to replace system fundamentals for the whole training program. So we need people to understand what the meaning, what the purpose of this new training. What can be said about this? So as Etienne said, we are proposing some learning paths. You can follow the system technician path or system engineer path, whether that's a K system or ELISA system, etc. So you have different way and different goals entering our training program. And we have some other people that it's just the I would say the jobs as a specialized technician in one specific field, but maybe it would be useful for them to understand where they fit in the global system approach that we have in L-Acoustics. And also, last but not least, we have also a new audience that is coming to our training now with the introduction of the ELISA technology, which is really creating a bridge between the mixing engineer and the system engineer. We have more and more mixing engineer coming to our training program, so that's also a way for us to introduce L-Acoustics to them.
Great.
So as you can see, that's quite a broad audience that we are targeting there. And the idea is really that this guy, the here with that we talk a lot about system technician, system engineer, loudspeaker system, ELISA system, rigging system, drive system. So which systems are you talking about? So there is this first part, which is about the system approach and talking about all these system parts and bits that are coming together to create a live sound reinforcement. And also something which is really important for them is that to understand where they fit into the project. So they're going to maybe to be active on one part of the project, or they're going to have some task all along the workflow. But whatever the role, they need to understand where they fit, who they are going to talk with, which tool they're going to use, which L-Acoustics tool they're going to use. So this is the workflow part. So really, this course is both an introduction to our approach and philosophy and a kind of orientation within our world, within the L-Acoustics ecosystem. So that's why it's becoming our new prerequisite for all L-Acoustics product training. So whatever your profile, the way to enter our program is to follow this training, and anyone is going to understand a bit more why he can fit into the L-Acoustics approach. So there is a global view here about our different learning paths, I would say. Just that what you need to remember is this system and workflow as a prerequisite to all our product training. So that's the common prerequisite, but that's also the only prerequisite. So once you did it, you can attend to any of these learning paths.
And does that prerequisite also mean or exist for the skills development seminars, or is that a different scenario?
So for the skills development, we decided now to remove any prerequisite. So because that's product agnostic content, it wouldn't really make sense to have a product oriented prerequisite. Sure. So for sure, that's kind of advanced course. So it's each one responsibility to know if he's skilled enough to attend this course, or if someone is willing to develop his skills. But for us, that's also a way to offer this course to new community like academic students, etc. And so now you can enter the L-Acoustics world from 2 entry points. So maybe you are already an expert from the academic world, or I don't know, working with another brand, and you can directly come to this course, and maybe you will know more about L-Acoustics and become curious, and then come to our other courses and start to be a user of L-Acoustics. So that's the new way of consuming our training program.
That's great. So what's interesting to me is obviously the reorganization of the different paths of education, and the newest one that I think is very different from what we've done over the last 20 years of education is the fixed installation. What is specifically that about, François?
So we can jump into this then directly. Yeah, I'll use it. It was a great course.
You gave yourself a good score. Good job. That's
yeah, statistics are important these days.
Yeah. So everyone, please give François 5 stars on Yelp after his seminar.
Yes.
And if you do, he gives you a 10% off your next beverage. Is that what it is? Coupon. Yeah, got it. So.
Yeah. So let's go back to this guy is assigned to the fixed installation system. So you can see that I want to continue this. So Guillaume Lecreux was the instructor, our trainers network manager. And this was a training plan. So first there was a commitment to the COVID-19 safety rule, and then all the content, all the modules that have been followed during the course, but are still accessible through the platform.
Very cool.
So this training, so I can go back to the introduction for this training, and if I want to present it quickly, that would be with this slide. So what's important to understand is that what we are covering here is the implementation bit of fixed installation system project. So we are not covering design or calibration, even though we know that some people are doing the different steps of the workflow, like skilled integrators, they would work into design and calibration. But our first target for this market was implementation. Other courses will come in the future to address other part of the workflow. But for implementation of fixed installation system, we needed to address the technician, and the goal is to be able to install the system in a venue as specified by the design solution, and ensuring it's safe, functional, and ready for calibration.
Sure.
So yeah, so you have some input from the design, so some documentation. So you use a lot of documentation, so you need to understand which kind of document you will need to exploit to really implement the system. And then at the end, what you need to do is to you need to give to the engineer that who is going to do the calibration a system which is functional for and ready to be calibrated. So that's really the idea. We talk a lot about documentation, and we have established 3 main area of implementation. So the mount and rig, cable and connect, and run and test. So we start with documentations, then we go to mount and rig, then cable and connect. Sorry. Then run and test, but we need to understand that's not necessarily linear. Sure. You need to do some check before lifting the system, for example, sure. extra. So that's that's globally the objective of this training. I don't know if I need to go through all the learning objectives. You got the idea, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is great, and I imagine that this course is really well targeted for installers and integrators around the world, and I know a lot of companies and a lot of programs have renewing education goals, and I can imagine this could be something that would help them achieve that on a regular basis to stay up to date, and for a wide range of installers, technicians, in many different places. I have one last question for the both of you.
I have one last question for you before.
Oh, let's hear it. 5 stars. 5 stars. You can give it. It's good.
Yeah, again. Yeah. No, I just wanted to see you. So this guy is was into this module, and that's a quiz. So this is just a way for me to show you which kind of learning activities that we can implement with this platform. So that's a quiz for you. That's a learning quiz from the run and test on from the cable and connect section.
All right, let's see. Let's see if I can read this on my screen. What are good practices to ensure polarity match between cable endpoints? All right. Open connection panel of the loudspeaker to check the wire collars. Okay. Check the polarity of the cable with connectors before implementation. Be careful when implementing exposed wires in terminals. Light a fire in front of the loudspeaker to check the smoke direction. Well, I know which one I would pick, but it's probably not the right answer. I mean, definitely light a fire. Yeah, it's definitely light a fire. I mean,
let's check.
Oh man.
Sorry.
See, I'm not actually a part of the education team anymore. I struggle with it, but my mom says I'm special. So,
yeah.
All right, no lighting a fire, but definitely, yeah, checking. I've traditionally done it with a number of different methodologies. The best one I've always found is a proper polarity checker. If it's in a pinch and it's a low end driver, I've used a battery before. Don't tell anyone, but you can tell which way it goes. And of course, once you have one thing you know is in polarity, it becomes really easy to figure out if everything else is in polarity in many places. So that's great. So I failed the test. Sorry, everyone. Don't light a fire.
That's okay. That's just a learning activity. So
I learned, right?
I learned something at the end.
There you go. So my question to the two of you, we've got a bunch of new seminars, courses, pardon me. I'm a big fan of, let's say, the agnostic ones. Is there any hint of what might come in the future in that category, or is it a little too soon to say?
That's maybe a little too soon.
Yeah. All right. But we're working on something, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we can say that it's a category that we want to develop because that's a very important one for us. That's the one that is providing also like a wide understanding of the topics. But we can't name something that easily. I would say you can easily imagine that some parts of the workflow haven't been quoted yet.
Got it.
And some frequency ranges haven't been addressed too much. So
sure,
it's too much, but it probably gives some direction.
It's a pretty low target for sure. I understand that.
Yeah. Next one, yeah, probably.
It's pretty exciting.
We could say it's in September. We would just not quote the year as usual.
This is as usual. Excellent. So September, if you're watching this webinar, whenever, it's going to be in September of some year.
I would
François,
say that I would just to add, there is also work for us to implement all this new digital activity for all of our learning courses. So there is new development coming, but also many updates. So stay tuned in your learning center to check if you have new content available.
Excellent. Well, François, thank you. Etienne, always good to see you as well. It's been at least a week since we've done a webinar. So
yeah.
Everyone, if you have questions, post obviously in the comments of the video. If you want to reach out to us, it's training@lacoustics.com is the email address. As always, we also have availability to be found on social media. Don't hesitate to reach out and join us at the next in-person or remote training course, and just sign up at L-Acoustics.com.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Scott.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.